Local 3 News and the Tennessee Center for Nursing Advancement want to highlight nurses right here in our community. Sometimes nurses can go overlooked, but we want to share their stories and just show how much they mean to all of us. Every month, we're introducing you to a nurse who goes above and beyond for their patients. Our nurse for February is Robin Carpenter. She spends her days helping students in need at Ooltewah High School. It's a path she never thought she would take as a nurse. But she'll tell you it's the best decision she made. Grace Kramer brings us her story.
Routine is medicines, checking temperatures, making sure that people aren't sick. Ultimately, our goal is to keep kids healthy and in school. If they're not healthy, we want to send them home.
Located in the center of Ooltewah High School is Nurse Robin Carpenter. Much like the primary function of a heart in the center of a body, Robin makes sure students are healthy and ready for the classroom.
We don't know what happens at home. We don't know if there is support or if there isn't. And these kids come in here and put on a really good front, and it's sometimes difficult to kind of break through that and see what their real need is.
Robin has been helping students for more than a decade. Before that, she worked with newborns in the hospital.
I always wanted to work in OB. I love babies, like that was my thing, and did that for 18 years. And then if you had told me 20 years ago I was going to be a school nurse, I would have said, yeah, no way, no way.
She tells me it quickly became a passion she didn't know she had when she first pursued a nursing career.
Just many adults, they need lots of guidance, and I love seeing kids come in as a freshman and being super needy, but then being a senior and going out into the world, and then I love seeing them in the community.
Robin says that while it is a more relaxed setting than the inside of a hospital room, the need is still there, and she finds every single day to be more rewarding than the last.
Most days, I would say, I feel like I did okay today. But some days you go home and you're like, oh, I really would like to take that kid home with me, and you can't. I may never know any kind of, impact that I did or didn't have on them. Some will give you cards or, thank you. If you're wanting to make that kind of an impact in a more relaxed than hospital setting, then absolutely.
From caring for newborns to nurturing teenagers, Robin Carpenter is more than just a school nurse. She's a safe place, a listening ear, and sometimes the only support students have. In Ooltewah, I'm Grace Kramer, Local 3 News.
Thank you, Grace. Well, we are already looking for our next Nurse of the Month for March. If you know someone who goes above and beyond, let us know. You can submit your nomination at local3news.com. Find the link in the Eye on Health section. All right, time now to talk some weather, and it looks like we may be seeing some evening rain in tomorrow's forecast. Here's meteorologist Clay Smith in with us. Clay.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a cold start this morning, but now that we're in the afternoon, a lot of you in the 40s, so just about everyone going to be well above freezing today. And as we look at your headlines, again, continuing to warm this afternoon, rain chances tomorrow, especially late in the day, and then it's going to be somewhat quiet the rest of the week, and we're going to have another warming trend as we get into the weekend. But again, Tuesday, or I say last Tuesday it was very cold, but of course this weekend it was very cold. Today, mid to upper 40s. So we're in the right direction, or at least heading there. 48 in Chattanooga, 45 in Fort Payne, 47 in Scottsboro. Still low 40s in the Blue Ridge and Murphy, but here's the good news. A lot of these areas are still dealing with some of that snowpack. A lot of that's going to be gone today. Some of it will hang on in the shady spots, but again, it's going to be really nice to have the sunshine beaming down with temperatures almost 50. I mean, our wind chills yesterday morning were right around 0 in parts of the valley. Now tonight, it is going to be another cold night, roughly 28 or 29 here in Chattanooga, 28 in Scottsboro, 25 in Dayton, 21 in Murphy. So again, the further east you go, it may be just a little bit cooler. But as we move forward through the rest of the week, especially tomorrow, we're back in the 50s. We'll have those rain chances, a little bit of a midweek cool down. But by this weekend, we could be pushing close to, yes, 60 degrees. So I'll talk more about that and what lies ahead for this first full week of February coming up here in just a few minutes.
Alrighty, thank you so much there, Clay. And coming up next here on Local 3 News at noon.
No matter how hard you try, your information is all over the internet. Go Google yourself and you're going to be shocked at what anyone can find out. I'm Jamie Tucker, coming up with a free tool to remove yourself from Google.
Nurse of the Month is sponsored on Local 3 by the Tennessee Center for Nursing Advancement. Captioning provided by L&S Excavation. L&SExcavation.com.
Hi, I'm Trevor. Welcome to the Hemp House. Let me show you where the treats are.
Our selection of local products allows the Hemp House to bring a little calm to life's journeys, whether you're blessed with 4 legs or just 2. The Hemp House, 4 locations to serve you or online at hemphousechat.com.
Around 20 years ago, I received a phone call that no one wants to receive. My mother had been in a terrible car wreck. Her bones, they were shattered from head to toe. Both her life and mine were forever changed. When I'm asked why we represent the injured, it's very simple. It's personal to me and my law firm. And I must say, we're darn good at what we do. At Wedemark Keith, it's more to us. It's personal.
Like President Trump, I'm a businessman, not a politician. And like him, I had the same mission, to take out the trash. I'm running for Congress to help President Trump. I'll bring our values to D.C., defend ICE agents that's keeping us safe, and fight tooth and nail to bring costs down. I'm Brian Stover, and let's get to work.
Christian, conservative, pro-Trump Republican, and trash destroyer, Brian Stover for Congress.
I'm Brian Stover. I approve this message.
I enjoy personal training, weight training, and preparing for bodybuilding competitions. I'm on my feet 12 to 14 hours a day, and I noticed my legs were getting heavy. They were itching and swelling, and also on the inside of my calf, I was having discoloration. The procedure itself is simple and easy and quick, and I was able to return to work that day. Since the treatment, my legs look so much better. I feel so much more confident. I've lost the heaviness and the discoloration in my legs. I am so thankful that I contacted the vein company. The Hemp House is committed to offering safe access to locally sourced products from farmers that we trust. Products that can help you with everyday health and wellness. Our experts can help you pick the perfect product for your needs. The Hemp House, 4 locations to serve you or online at hemphousechat.com.
More local stories, more updated forecasts. Local3news.com.
Local 3's What the Tech is brought to you by TVFCU, a place for all of us.
Well, if you've Googled your name and something shocking turned up, apparently there's not much you can do about it. Well, our consumer technology reporter, Jamie Tucker, has more.
You're out there, we all are. No matter how hard you try, anyone can Google your name and find out a lot of personal information.
It's my mom, my wife again. That's my grandmother.
Free sites like True People Search, Family Tree Now, and U.S. Phone Book collect public records and post them online. They list family members, phone numbers, addresses, even photos of your house and every place you've ever lived. All someone has to do is Google your name. Now, this invasion of privacy is not illegal. It's public record. And while it can be tough to remove it all, Google has a free tool that makes it harder to find. From your phone, go to google.com and tap your account photo and choose Results About You. Enter your personal details that you want to protect, your address, phone numbers, and email. Google will search for that information and flag everywhere it appears. And when matches are found, you can request removal. The first time you do this, you'll probably see a dozen sites or more publishing that information. Google will scrub those results when someone Googles your name. You'll also get emails when your information shows up again, so you can request removal right away. It's important to note that Google cannot erase your information from those sites, but it will block them from search results. Now, to fully remove it, you'll need to contact the sites directly, and it might take some time, but most sites will comply if you follow their process. Scammers don't need any help at finding us, and scrubbing and removing yourself from Google search results is a big step in protecting your privacy. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Well, the fallout over the Epstein files continue as abuse survivors react to their full names, home addresses, and phone numbers being unredacted in the latest release of documents, as there are also more calls for transparency.
As grocery costs rise, how can you stretch your food dollars and cook more meals?
You don't need a lot and you don't need a ton of specialty items.
A popular social media influencer shares ways to feed your family for less. Tuesday at 4 and 6.
Injured in a wreck? You got one shot to get the compensation you deserve.
Not all injury lawyers are the same. The lawyer you choose matters.
Any lawyer can get you something, but the right lawyer will get you everything that you're owed.
Don't leave money on the table. We'll fight to get you every single dollar you deserve.
The board-certified attorneys at The Insiders are the only lawyers I trusted. They came through and got me an $8 million settlement for my car wreck.
Call us. It's just that easy.
Call 265-1100.
Here at Precision, we love our 5-star reviews.
It's always appreciated, showing that we went above and beyond to give them the service that they deserve.
People love when you're honest and when you're forthright with everything that you're doing.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Hi, I'm Pat with ProSource Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you have a house and you want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me. I buy houses in any condition and any price range. I buy inherited houses, divorced houses, behind on payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Is your house in rough shape and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I love buying these houses. Whether vacant, abandoned, condemned, or foreclosure, I'll buy it. If you want to sell your house fast, call or click below for your local fair cash offer.
You would think electricians would share electrician jokes, but they don't.
Do electricians listen to AC/DC or something more modern?
For a limited time, get $100 off of indoor-outdoor lighting installation.
Our whole job
is to give you accurate forecasts.
We use science
and our experience
here in the Tennessee Valley
to make sure you know what the weather will bring.
That's a promise from the Storm Alert Weather Team.
Well, in the wake of that massive document release in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, we are learning more about who and what was in the millions of files posted by the Trump administration's Justice Department, including a never-before-seen interview with Epstein himself. NBC's Hallie Jackson has more.
New fallout this morning from the Justice Department's release of millions of pages of Epstein documents.
This is the most documents that we have seen released so far in history, but it is not good enough.
The files showing a web of connections between Jeffrey Epstein and powerful people throughout the world, including references to former Prince Andrew, seen here kneeling over an unidentified woman. No details were provided about the circumstances of the photo. The UK Prime Minister now calling on Andrew to testify in front of Congress, saying Epstein's victims have to be the first priority. Andrew was stripped of his royal titles last year because of his Epstein ties, but has long vigorously denied allegations of abuse and misconduct related to Epstein. The DOJ also posted, then temporarily removed without explanation, a spreadsheet of complaints made to the FBI, including unverified allegations about both President Trump and former President Bill Clinton. The FBI determined some of those tips were not credible or corroborated. President Trump and former President Clinton have denied any wrongdoing, and they have not been accused by authorities. The Deputy Attorney General saying Sunday multiple well-known people were in that spreadsheet.
There have been hundreds of calls made to the FBI where allegations are made by either anonymous individuals or people who are very quickly determined to not be credible.
The DOJ's files also include multiple images and video, including of Epstein speaking with MAGA strategist Steve Bannon in 2019, just months before Epstein's arrest and suicide.
The devil himself said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
Bannon, who's not accused of wrongdoing and was never publicly part of any investigation into Epstein, has not responded to NBC's request for comment. Now, some survivors say they're frustrated with the way some private information was not redacted in the release. Danny Bensky tells us she was infuriated to see her own name, address, and phone number in the files.
I thought it was carelessness, and then I went to incompetence, and now it feels a bit deliberate. I feel like the Department of Justice has really made us feel unsafe.
Hallie Jackson with that report. Now, some people may have a more difficult time feeding their family as the president's new work requirements for the Supplemental Nutrition Program are now in effect. As part of the changes to SNAP under the president's bill, the work requirement is now expanded to groups who were previously exempt. That includes veterans, Adults ages 55 to 64, parents with children 14 to 18, and people experiencing homelessness, and young adults who are aging out of the foster care system. Those subject to the change must work at least 80 hours per month or pursue certain educational or training opportunities. SNAP recipients have until March 1st to prove they're meeting the new requirements. With the government in a partial shutdown, it's now up to the House to pass a funding bill to get it reopened. But as tensions remain high from the two deadly shootings in Minneapolis, Democrats say the passing of a funding bill depends on reforms to immigration enforcement. House Speaker Mike Johnson is predicting that the funding package will pass by tomorrow. That would fully fund most of the government while splitting off the Department of Homeland Security. Congress then has 2 weeks to negotiate the immigration enforcement reforms that Democrats are demanding, including ending roving ICE patrols, limiting officers wearing masks, and add body cameras to all federal immigration officers.
I think even Tom Homan has acknowledged both of those things are acceptable and what he was intending to do already. So I think we're on the path to get agreement.
But some Democrats are still urging a no vote on even the short-term package, pressing to repeal a huge spike in funding ICE secured under the president's bill that was passed last year.
I just don't see how in good conscience Democrats can vote for continuing ICE funding when they're killing American citizens.
If the two parties can't agree on immigration enforcement reforms over the next 2 weeks, funding could be at risk for FEMA, TSA, and the Coast Guard, all of which are under the Department of Homeland Security. Alrighty, time now to talk some weather. Starting a new week, meteorologist Clay Smith is in with us. And Clay, what can we expect for this week? Looks like things will warm up some.
Well, good Monday and, of course, happy Groundhog Day. Phil saw a shadow earlier today, which means 6 more weeks of winter. And I tell you what, we had our fair share of winter weather this past weekend. This was Cherokee County. Look at that fluffy snow falling. A lot of Cherokee County picking up as much as 4 to 6 inches. Polk County also did really well in the snowfall department. Really the whole county, especially closer to the Tennessee line, or Tennessee North Carolina line, I should say. This was sent in by Amanda Gray Allen. Look at all that fluffy snow. The Jeep. That is just a postcard-worthy image. And look at these totals. Tellico Plains, 9 inches. Turtletown, 7. Blue Ridge, 6.5. Murphy, 5. Athens, 3. And other parts of the area, like Ringgold, Dalton, had some light accumulations as well. Cleveland. But these were some of the larger totals here in our area. And get this, Gatlinburg picked up 15 inches of snow. Just a big event for parts of East Tennessee and the Carolinas, and even Georgia, especially that eastern part of Georgia. But now we're warming up. So the snow melt is on. It was cold this morning. Blue Ridge and Murphy were in the single digits, on their way to the 40s. So a big melt day for our eastern communities. Will continue to climb throughout the afternoon into the mid to upper 40s, and many areas already pushing into the 40s as we continue into the lunch hour. But looking ahead to your temperature trend, still slightly below normal. It looks like that deeper cold air is going to start to shift east, so we will have some warmer days in the near future. In fact, tomorrow 56 before the rain comes in. Behind that front, it cools back down Wednesday and Thursday, and then we start to climb close to 60 by this weekend. So it looks like this weekend, no winter weather threats as of now. So that's the good news after 2 weeks of tracking widespread winter storms. Here's a look at your future tracker, though. The rest of the day into the evening, really no issue. So if the kids are off school today, if you're off work today, get out there and enjoy it, because as we get close to 50 this afternoon, it's going to feel pretty good. And then as we get into tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon and evening, here comes the rain. Again, 6 p.m., I'd go ahead and plan for a wet home or wet evening commute home, because it's going to be coming down pretty good. I would definitely plan for that before you leave work. Just know that it's going to be slow going on some of our roads, especially where that traffic starts to pick up a little bit. And then by Wednesday at midnight, most of this is starting to move out. Could have some flurries on the back end of this, but we need the rain. It's been dry, and it does look like we could pick up a 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch, with a couple pockets maybe pushing close to the inch range. And like I said, with the last drought monitor issued last Thursday, still a lot of severe drought conditions. Dalton, Athens, Blue Ridge, and Murphy. Again, some of that snow melt today will help some of those areas off to the east, but we still need more moisture here across the Tennessee Valley, and we're just not going to get a ton of it this week. But today we're going to continue to get into the 40s. It's going to be, again, a fairly nice day. It was in the 20s on Saturdays, 30s yesterday, so hey, we'll take any warm up we can get. 28 tonight, clear skies, some areas down into the low 20s, so it is going to be a cold night. But as we look ahead to your next 7 days, rain tomorrow and then relatively quiet for the rest of the week into the weekend.